Here are the 5 for the Clippers. Dudley and Griffin, your small and power forwards. CP3 at point with Redick there at the backcourt. And it's Jordan in at the 5 spot. And for Miami, Chalmers and D-Wade are the guards. At the forward spots, James and Haslem. And it's Bosh in at the 5 down low. Now here's Redick. Shot clock at 6. Paul goes in, and he gets it to go.
And he's on the board early.
The first to strike there. Nice hoop.
Los Angeles on D. Chalmers with it. The dish to LeBron. Wide open look. That's good, and so Chalmers with the assist.
It's got to be nice for them to know that game in and game out, his offense is going to be there for him. You know, people look at Mario Chalmers and say he might not be your typical point guard. He's not a big-time penetrator or playmaker, but he's a good fit for the Heat with his active defense and spot-up shooting from long range. I think it's a hand-in-glove fit, actually.
And here are the Heat now. All right, now we're going to go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. What'd you find out, Doris?
I asked him about the challenge of containing Chris Paul, and he said, well, he's one of the best in the business, maybe the best. There's really nothing he can't do. But, fellas, he said matching CP3's intensity on the court and making him work defensively are two keys. Back to you.
Thanks, Doris. And Chalmers, a 3-time All-American, NCAA champion his junior season at Kansas, received the Most Outstanding Player Award for that 2008 tournament.
Hit what was probably the biggest shot in Kansas history, the three-pointer that sent that game against Memphis into overtime that allowed the Jayhawks to go on and win that national championship.
Well, in the last few years, it's been debated between Paul, Williams, and Rose as to who the best point guard in the league is. I think I would have to put Steph Curry in that conversation now. But I would lean towards Paul's dominance and ability to turn around the Clippers as putting him just a notch ahead of the other guys on the list.
And that one misses. And Clark, last season's survey of league GMs agreed Chris Paul voted the top point guard in the NBA. I don't have a problem with that, Steve. Do you?
And it's either him or Tony Parker, but I could go either direction there. But what you love about Paul is that he does everything. He defends, he scores, passes. He kind of just figures out what's needed during the game, and then he delivers for his team.
And he sinks the second.
The difference between being a dominant or a good team and mediocrity is the ability to win on the road. The Clippers secured their spot as one of the NBA's elite teams last season because they showed the ability to get it done on the road.
The 3 from Chalmers. They get the rebound. Haslem, that's good. Haslem's got his first basket.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Paul kicks to Griffin.
How nice was that alley-oop? Those two really have a good connection.
You know, read each other so well, it's a play I'm sure, Clark, they love to run.
And as the receiver, he didn't feel like he had the need to go for the monster finish, just laying it in, making sure he got the points.
Bosh, a screen on Paul. Chalmers dishes to LeBron. Back to Chalmers. Wade outside. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And the Clippers with one of the better road records in the Western Conference last year, going 24-17. Steve, actually tied for the second most road wins in the West, only behind the Thunder.
And believe it or not, Kevin, it's the first time the Clippers franchise has ever had a winning record on the road. Actually, I do believe that when you think back to Clipper history. But I'll tell you what, it's a team on the rise and a very interesting club to watch. And as he has gained more experience in the league, Wade has taught himself to rely a bit more on his jump shot and a little less on attacking the rim. But still, you see his confidence really lies in his ability to attack the lane.
He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line. And Wade, still a player who thrives on getting in the lane, Clark, and for his career, under 30% from long range.
Yeah, you know, his jump shot is more of a mid-range weapon, quite honestly. He loves the bank shots, loves the floaters, and is always looking to get somebody in the air with that pump fake. And usually, more times than not, guys bite, and he gets free throws.
He gets to the line, you're right. LeBron with it. Now defended by Dudley. James, the pass to Wade. Now Haslem inside. Griffin with the steal. Now here's Redick, defended by Chalmers, and Redick kicks to Dudley. Feeds it to Paul. 6 on the shot clock. Releases from 15, and the Clippers getting another bucket right there.
Red hot right out of the gates. 4 for 4 shooting.
LeBron gets the screen from Bosh. LeBron kicks to Wade. There's the feed to Haslem. And it's out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession here.
8 seconds of the shot.
Clock at 6. Here's LeBron. Soft touch off the glass. LeBron's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Well, they just gave him 2 points. Defensively, you're going to have to tighten things up here. That's not a good sign.
Here's Paul. LeBron with the block.
Well, you know what? All good things must come to an end, and they finally miss after making their first 4.
And there's the pass to Haslem. And that one's good.
Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense.
Clippers trail by 3. Here's Paul. Chalmers against Griffin. And the foul called on Blake Griffin. That's foul number 2 for him. Antoine Jameson's checked in for Blake Griffin.
Antoine Jameson.
And Miami has possession. James, the turnaround jumper. Count it. James has got 6.
You know, he's got a quick trigger from that range when he senses that the defense has backed off.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Now here's Paul. He has 7. Stolen by Bosh. Wade kicks to LeBron. Trying to find Haslem and gets it to him. And the shot is good. He has 6.
Everything going according to the script for them offensively so far.
Yeah, the shots have been falling, that's for sure. The offense really in a good group.
Chalmers against Paul. Will it go? Rejected by Chalmers. It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. And the Clippers making a change here. Mullins is checked in.
Coming on the floor for Clippers, Byron Mullins.
Miami on defense. 7-point differential. And that one's good.
Boy, you can't run an inbounds play any better than that right there.
The Heat have gone 7 of 9 from the field. A really nice start offensively for them. James in the post. He's guarded by Dudley. Bosh dishes to Chalmers. This one for 3, and that one's good.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Clippers trail by 8.
You know, Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication has really become an outstanding coach.
Now here's Wade. Back to James. Wade outside. Good ball movement here by the Heat. Shot clock at 5. 6 feet out. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra. As a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart, Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat movement, analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching world. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
And the Clippers decide to take their first timeout here. Los Angeles making a switch here. Clippers trail by 11. Jamison with a screen for Paul. Battier with the steal. Here's Wade. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Just out for a three-point play. Juan Jamison picks one up.
It has taken them no time to build this lead up on the strength of a great first quarter offensively.
And they need to continue to put pressure on the defense and try to really run away with this one from here.
Darren Collison, he's checked in for the Clippers. Here's Collison. He dishes it to Mullins. The kick out to Collison. Pass to Mullins. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, one thing that Byron Mullins added last year was a three-point shot, and he wasn't shy at all about trying it out. I mean, it was still a work in progress, and right now I think it's a part of his game.
And to go back to Mullins, not the best percentage from outside, but he is a spot-up big man, Steve.
Well, if he can get his three-point percentage up a little higher, along with his decent rebounding, I think they found something in terms of a player who can be a consistent threat in that front court.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, Miami stormed through the regular season and were viewed as the clear-cut favorites to come out of the East, but it was not as easy as expected. After sweeping Milwaukee, the Bulls gave them a scare. Then the Pacers really took them deep, all the way to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
That one misses. And for the Heat, the Pacers were their first real test, it seemed, and they had to survive a win or go home against him. It almost seemed Clark to take away any momentum they might have had when they went up against the Spurs in the finals.
You know, it's interesting. When I think of momentum in the playoffs, it doesn't carry over from game to game or series to series. I think each game, Kevin, is really an entity in and of itself. That said, Miami found a way, despite being pushed by the Pacers and being pushed by the Spurs, both to Game 7. It came down to LeBron James's brilliance, but also the hot shooting of a complimentary role-playing winner, Shane Battier.
Ray Allen is checked in for LeBron. And so here are the Clippers, down by 15.
What was the defense doing there? I mean, he is not the guy to give an open look to, and yet they got away with it.
Wade passes to Battier. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. Battier's got his first 3 points of the game. And the action on hold, as it appears there's been an injury. Yep, he's definitely in a bad way out there right now. Tough to see.
No, this is the last thing you ever want to see at a game.
You know, at this point, we can just knock on wood, say a prayer, and wish him the best.
LeBron, he's checked in for the Heat. Here's Collison. Passes it to Mullins. Stolen away. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for Miami.
And they've come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
And I really think you've got to love the way they protected the rim today. I mean, a good number of blocks in the first half. You know, it looks like despite the injury he's got, he's still able to deliver, and that's what he's showing us right now. LeBron kicks to Anderson. Dishes to Wade. Heat moving the ball around. He feeds it to Cole. Back to Wade. Just 4 to shoot. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Outside Collison. Shoots from the elbow. And he hits the jump shot. Here's Cole.
On the wing, Dwayne Wade. And Cole kicks to LeBron. Rebound by Antoine Jamison.
That's the kind of defense required when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were right in his face.
Great D that time from Cole.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
Time now for an injury report. Now let's check in with our Doris Burke to see how Shane Battier's doing.
Guys, I got an update from head athletic trainer of the Heat. Not what we wanted to hear, guys. It sounds like it's a very serious injury. His night is over, and it remains to be seen just how long it will be until he can come back.
Thank you, Doris. Boy, you always hate to see anyone ever deal with any sort of injury.
Yeah, but it's part of the game, Kevin. Almost everybody goes through it eventually as a player, so you just have to deal with it the best you can.
Unfortunately, it is that, Steve, and it's painful to watch your teammates out there because you're helpless in that situation.
Here's Cole. It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock. And the Heat lead by 15.
Well, they've yet to string many stops together.
It just seems like they've been a step slow here.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
He did not look too happy about some of the things he saw on the court, so I would expect some changes here.
I think it's the right move, quite honestly. I mean, they just didn't look sharp or at their best out there, so take the timeout and give yourself a chance to regroup.
Griffin's check in for the Clippers. Clippers trail by 15. Collison dishes to Crawford. Kicks it to Griffin. And the foul called on Blake Griffin. And that'll be his third foul so far.
With the number of turnovers they've committed, it's no wonder they're in the position they're in right now.
Yeah, but it's still early, guys. They just need to be a little more disciplined at that end of the floor.
Jared Dudley's checked in for Blake Griffin. 1:32 left to play in the first quarter. Allen, right side. He kicks to Cole. Fires from deep. Offensive rebound, Heat. And there's the defensive 3-second call. Miami shooting their fourth shot at the foul line here.
Ray Allen. Shooting one.
And the technical free throw is good.
Only 3 teams in the entire Eastern Conference had a better than 500 record against the West, and no surprise the Heat were one of those 3, and they were dominant against Western Conference opponents all year long.
We've got 1:13 left in the first. Wade outside. Pass to Anderson. There's the dish to Cole. Clock is at 3. Buries the long-range jumper. Cole's got 7. Mark, adding on to what you were saying about the Heat versus the West, they ended up 25-5, which is incredible, Steve, given how many tough teams that are in the Western Conference.
That's amazing, Kevin. They had a better record against the West than they did against the East in terms of their winning percentage. So I think that speaks to just how motivated Miami was when they went out on the road to the West in particular to really show everybody how good they were.
DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Byron Mullins. Crawford against Wade. LeBron outside. Here's Anderson. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist.
Doing a great job here, able to create some second chance points with their extra effort and hustle.
Collison, the pass to Jamison. Feeds to Dudley. Shot's good.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Yeah, they've been the aggressors, Clark, and getting the ball inside into that lane area has been huge for them.
LeBron, no luck.
You'd expect him to nail that one being that close to the hoop.
Crawford outside and released it in time, but it's off the mark. And as the first quarter wraps up, already a double-digit lead. Heat lead by 19. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena. Welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And quite a position here for the Heat to be in. What do you guys think?
How about the three-point shooting? The scoring has really come in bunches from long range.
Yeah, it seems like every time down the floor they're knocking down the triple.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the floor for Miami, Haslam and Bosh up front. Ray Allen and LeBron fill out the wings. And it's Chalmers in at the point.
You know, Miami went to that smaller lineup last season, and a big change in that was having Chris Bosh move over to the 5 spot. Not his natural position, but I thought he held his own both offensively and defensively playing in the middle.
And he makes the first. And for Bosh, playing the center, Steve, he's giving up some weight out there.
But he's a very smart defender. He avoids fouls. And, you know, the way the league is these days, Kevin, most teams play smaller. And Bosh can normally find a center that he can guard without too much trouble. But there are a few matchups around the league that are a problem.
Well, they got the speed and the pressure of that Miami defense. You think they're able to compensate for any lack of size inside by using those other things.
Yeah, that's normally the case against, I would say, the vast majority of the league.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Well, Dwayne Wade, maybe more so than LeBron and Chris Bosh, has had to make sacrifices in his role when they assembled the Big Three in Miami. Wade said, quote, "If I was a selfish guy, it never would have worked. Myself and LeBron both being alphas. But you can only play this game for so long. And when you leave this game, what memories do you want to have? I want to have memories of success as a team. And it's not easy. It's hard. But the only thing I need to prove to myself is that I can be a part of a winning team. Guys, that's what it's all about."
Well, they've got it right, Doris. When you win, all the accolades take care of themselves.
Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there.
First one falls for him. And the Clippers making a switch here. Griffin's checked in. Collison hits them both.
Boy, you look at the Clippers, and they clearly are one of the most entertaining teams in the NBA. One of the outstanding team shows you'll see. They have fun, they're up and down. But they're a hard-working group, and a lot of that you have to attribute to their leader, Chris Paul.
From deep LeBron, and that one's good. James has got 12.
A large part of what they've been able to do here is centered around his offense.
Collison kicks to Jordan. A feed now to Dudley. Tries to save it. Out of bounds, Clippers ball as the Clippers keep possession. Well, Clark, as you were taking a look at the Clippers, they are a fun team, an amazing product so far with big names all around. But, you know, Steve, they've got to work hand in hand to make sure they're always at their best and not take things for granted.
Well, I think it's still a team that's a work in progress. You've got a young front line in Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, great point guard in Paul, but the new additions have helped, and I think it'll be interesting to see if this team can gel during the playoffs.
You know, DeAndre Jordan last year led the league in field goal percentage at 64%, but that was a percentage that was better than his free throw percentage. You want to get that flipped, and hopefully Jordan will be able to do that.
And the first one at the line is good. And for DeAndre Jordan, it's strange. His shooting motion at the line looks good, but Steve, last year just 38% from the stripe.
Well, it's got to be mental, Kevin, because you watch the way he shoots. You know, it's not a beautiful stroke, but it's not broken by any means. I think it's all about finding a way to be comfortable at the free throw line. Some players never reach that point.
I tell you what, guys, I think most NBA fans can think back to last season when DeAndre Jordan had a dunk for the ages. I remember my son reached out to me by text and said, "Did you see what DeAndre did?" And it was major impressive.
Now here's Collison. Following the miss by Chris Bosh. Jordan dishes to Collison. And the pass to Griffin. Miami grabs the miss. Haslam's got his 4th rebound in this one. And for DeAndre Jordan, spectacular dunks are nothing new. I read the other day a 9'6" standing reach. He can touch the rim on the tips of his toes.
I read that too. It's interesting. I mean, he's so big and yet so explosive off his feet. So I think he has the ability to be one of the best defensive players in the NBA.
Now here's Collison. Following the miss by Chris Bosh. Griffin passes to Dudley. Hits it from 3-point range. Dudley's got 5.
That was some skill there. Nice use of the bounce pass.
Chalmers against Collison. And Chalmers kicks to James. Miami no good on that time either.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, they were very lucky defensively because there was some miscommunication there. They left him wide open.
Now here's Dudley. He's got 5. Collison inside, defended by Chalmers. That shot by Griffin, no good.
All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
James dishes to Allen. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
You know, he's been the star of movies before, but Ray Allen recently shared some of his plans for what he'll do after basketball. First thing on his list is to get back in front of the camera and resume his acting career.
And for Ray Allen, now 38 years of age. Interesting to see how much longer, Steve, he thinks he can continue and how much teams feel he can continue.
Well, he's had some foot issues that have slowed him down a little bit. I thought he had a terrific regular season last year for the Heat, although maybe a little bit slow during the playoffs. But, great shooters have a way of sticking around.
Byron Mullins is checked in for the Clippers. Paul comes in for Darren Collison. He's perfect from the line this time.
They struggled a bit at the line earlier, but they found a nice comfort zone there now here in the second. They've been red hot from the strike.
Los Angeles calls timeout.
Really not hard to argue that Ray Allen is one of the greatest shooters of all time, but with his ability to stay healthy and still contribute, how much longer can he play? I mean, that shot isn't going away anytime soon, fellas.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Doc Rivers address his team. If what he talked about is a true indication, the pick and roll is going to be their go-to play from now on. He sees that as being their best option offensively. I'm sure Coach is hoping those changes turn the tide in this game and shrink the deficit before halftime. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris.
A little bit of a magic act here, pulling off the Houdini to make that catch and slam.
Stupendous alley-oop.
This crowd just stunned at the sight of that one.
Now here is Haslam. He's got 6. It's Allen with the drive. Bosh up and in on the layup. Bosh has got 4 this quarter. We talk about the longevity of Ray Allen. He's had some ankle and foot injuries over his career, but his conditioning, Steve, has never been a question.
Never. And his style of play, where he runs defenders around, coming off screens, demands that kind of fitness. Both from him and, of course, whoever's guarding him as well.
Here's Griffin following the basket by Chris Bosh. That's good. 6 points for Blake Griffin.
You know, as soon as he recognized the height mismatch, he immediately pulled up for the jumper.
As he should. That's a good decision. When he gets a clean look, he's got to take it.
Now here's Bosh, rejected by Griffin, but they recover it. Chalmers pass to Allen. He dishes it to Bosh. No good. And it's the Clippers taking it the other way.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Here's Redick. And he can't bank that one in. Miami leading by 17. James with it. Now defended by Mullins. And that one's good. 14 points for LeBron.
And another gap in the defense found right there. This is one of the worst defensive performances I have ever seen.
Griffin a screen on Chalmers. And it's Paul penetrating, and they double up Paul. Pass to Reddick. Dishes it to Dudley. Chalmers against Paul. Lets it fly from 18. Nice jump shot. Good. Paul's got 14 points for the game.
How about that? Gets it off right in the face of the big fella. Quick release.
And operating on the perimeter like that negates some of the height disadvantage, too. The guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
Well, it's become one of the stories in the first half, Clark, just piling up points in the paint.
You know, guys, you look at Chris Paul's path to greatness, and it's really kind of a neat story. When he was in high school, he didn't even make the varsity team until he was a junior and cracked 6 feet tall. And the school he wanted to go to, North Carolina, understandable for a kid who was in the state of North Carolina, the Tar Heels didn't even offer him a scholarship.
The first one falls.
And with Chris Paul, he ended up playing 2 seasons at Wake Forest, led them to a Sweet 16 appearance. You know, the school retired his number 3 jersey back in March. So for a guy so lightly recruited out of high school, what an incredible achievement.
And his twin brother has been just as successful in the insurance business.
That's right, Cliff.
Yes, Cliff. Terrific, terrific. In fact, he handles my home and auto.
Does he?
Yes, he does.
Wow.
Yes.
I have an umbrella policy for him.
You do? He's a great assistant.
He's the best.
Yeah, wonderful.
One of the things that really jumps out at you about the Clippers is their depth. Really impressive. I mean, they've surrounded their stars with a bench that includes Jamal Crawford, who was second in the voting for 6th Man of the Year. They've got a nice second unit.
Now here's Wade. 9 points in the game so far. That's blocked. Puts up the baby hook. And here's Reddick. Reddick gets a screen from Mullins. He lobs it up, and then Griffin with the dunk.
Maybe that'll ignite him. I mean, impossible not to get pumped up after that. At least I think that would be the case.
Well, you could see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are. Look at them. They are pumped up.
Yeah, they're geek.
That's what those alley-oops do, though.
And we talk about the bench for the Clippers last season. Also guys like Matt Barnes and Lamar Odom. Steve, some good defensive tenacity there, too.
Yeah, they had an edge. You know, Barnes really gave them some toughness and some grit. I thought Crawford's shooting gave them some balance where they had a good offense to go with good defense. And then Bledsoe slashing. They were a lot of fun to watch, that bench unit.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Well, their energy is lacking. They've got to start playing harder and battle down in the paint.
Now here's Paul. 16 points for him, and he gets it to go. Paul's got 18 points.
What a job he's doing here. I mean, his second quarter has been even better than his first, and that was pretty good.
Wade kicks to Bosch. Passes it to Allen. On the wing, James. Defended by Griffin. Shot is no good. Clippers trail by 15. Paul outside. Reddick for 3. Goes back up. LeBron with the block. It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. And the Clippers making a change here. It's Crawford on the wing. Defended by Allen. Over to the wing. Now here's Paul. He's got 18. Griffin kicks to Jamison. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Paul. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Paul's got 8 points here in this quarter.
You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
LeBron kicks to Cole. Back to James. Wade outside. LeBron James on the wing. Allen outside. Here's Cole. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Cole's got 10 points.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Clippers trail by 16. All up top, covered by Cole. A shot by Paul, no good.
Tough D on the inside.
Put up a roadblock, a construction barrel right there. That's what he brings defensively.
Wade dishes to Anderson. Here's Cole. That's good. He's got 12.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
Griffin sets the screen for Paul. Paul gets a screen from Griffin. Off the pick. That one off the back iron and out.
Looked like an easy 2 points right there.
You know he's kicking himself for that.
Allen passes to Anderson. Now James. He's got 16. Shoots a fader. They grab their own miss. Allen drives in. Looking for Wade. He gets it there. Fades. And that one's good. Wade's got 11.
And he may be the guy to put this game even farther out of reach.
Clippers trail by 20. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
Got to find something, you're right. Paul with the ball. He's picked up by LeBron. Crawford's shot is good.
Well, there's plenty to like about him as a player, but, you know, one thing that really stands out is the quick trigger. He can catch the ball in space, defenders all over him, but, you know, in an instant, lets that shot go, and he is accurate.
And what he can do with the ball in his hands borders on miraculously ridiculous sometimes. He's broken a few ankles in his day, that's for sure.
Obvious foul.
Yeah, he took a hit right there and earned those free throws. Talking about Chris Anderson, guys, the Birdman. We weren't sure if he was going to be able to fly last season, but he did latch on with a very good Miami Heat team who was in need of some help rebounding, which is his strength. He still can do that and block shots as well.
And the first one drops. And the Birdman, a fan favorite from his days in Denver. The tattoos, his kinetic style of play, certainly drawing attention.
Well, he's an athletic presence inside at both ends of the floor. Defensively, he can slide his feet and block shots. And offensively, he's a guy who kind of hangs out on the weak side and finishes plays by catching and dunking.
And he makes the first, but misses the second.
The Heat have magnificent talent, but even coming off an NBA title, they had never put their name into the conversation of the great team until last spring when they went on that amazing 27-game winning streak.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. And for the Heat, they were staring right at the 72 Lakers win record, and I'm sure everyone remembers, but ultimately they would fall, Steve, to the Bulls after 27 consecutive wins.
Yeah, that streak to me was one of the great feats in NBA history. Winning 27 games in a row in the regular season, so difficult, but it showed you what the Heat were made of. They really were battling every night, and I thought that put them on a great run heading into the playoffs.
1:05 left to play in the first half. Wade against Paul. Takes the 13-footer. And James gets it to go on the assist by Wade. And that's now 18 points for LeBron. Clippers trail by 18. Paul outside. Fires from deep. And another three for the Clippers.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
LeBron with it. He's got 18. Wade with it. Picked up by Collison. And Anderson kicks to Allen. And the Heat, another three.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
It's just beautiful basketball to watch, Clark.
The drive by Paul. Jamison dishes to Paul. The kick out to Collison. James against Jamison. Shot clock at 6. Short. From deep. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Here's LeBron. No luck. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. Miami ahead. They lead by 18. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. Well, Coach, LeBron obviously having a tremendous game so far. What is key to his ability to take over a game?
It was probably a myriad of things, but his ability to sustain that. He came out with great force and got us off on the right note. Now we have to keep it going.
Coach, thank you for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
Thanks, Doris. And folks, the halftime show is coming up next. And then it's on to the third quarter. We'll step aside right now.
And now, brought
He's been handing out a lot of assists. And that does it for us here in the studio. Thanks so much for joining me. And now, back out to Kevin and the gang.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third.
Paul having a good one. He has 23 points, and he's knocked down a pair of three-pointers in this game, too.
Well, they might want to think about setting a few more screens for him to try to give him another open look or two.
Getting underway in the second half. Here's the 5 for Doc Rivers. CP3 at point with Redick there, the backcourt. Blake Griffin down low and DeAndre Jordan. And it's Dudley in at the 3, the small forward. Now here's Paul after LeBron James's miss. Throws it up high, and DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Boy, the prettiest play in basketball to me. Executed to perfection.
I don't think you're going to get an argument there. Everybody loves the alley-oop.
Well, unless you're the team getting dunked on, of course.
Wade outside. The drive by Bosh.
Well, coming off a title last year, you always wonder if a team will maybe relax a little bit. They usually won't admit to it, but Chris Bosh readily said it at times that his team had a difficult time lighting that fire again.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here. That one is off. He hits the second from the line. Here is Paul. Out to the wing. Here's Redick. And the layup is good. And to go back to what Bosh said, I think that is true for every team, Clark, that comes off a championship, but they usually don't admit it like Bosh did.
Well, you know what? Once you've won it all, there is a bit of a relief and a little malaise that may settle over you, but I've always respected Bosh's candor. He's a guy who doesn't bite his tongue, and he articulates what he feels, and I think it's impressive that they fought back to the finals once more, because that shows they eventually did recapture that fight.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, gentlemen, it's not often you see a team trade for a coach, but the Clippers did just that to get Doc Rivers. The Clippers gave up a first-round pick to get him, but they believe he is their guy. He has a title on his coaching resume, and that played a big part in why the Clippers were willing to give up so much to just acquire Doc. Rivers felt it was time for a change and gladly took the chance to take over a team that could contend immediately. Gentlemen?
No question he can help. Thanks, Doris. Here's Wade following the basket by Chris Paul. And Chalmers kicks to LeBron. 5 to shoot. From 13, and he gets it to go. James has got 20 points.
They're going to have to tighten up defensively, guys, because they're really giving up way too many open looks.
And it's Paul penetrating. Left side, Jordan. Here's Paul. He's got 25. Shoots from 14. Off the left rim and out.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Any extra possessions that you can get, either through steals or rebounds, are so critical in this game.
Count the bucket.
Guys, they've had a solid start to the second half offensively. Gotten good looks, and they've made 3 out of 4 of them.
And the Clippers call time here.
Well, what a series it was in the finals a year ago. Such great basketball, 2 teams that like to play up-tempo. And I'll tell you, the Spurs had Miami. They had the series in the bag. They were 1 play away from wrapping it up in Game 6, but the miracle comeback from the Heat that led to the Game 7 victory and another title for the Miami Heat.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address his team. He'd like them to better establish the transition game, to pick up the tempo and put pressure on the defense in the open floor. He also said that he loved their matchups in the low post and told his guys get the ball into the post whenever they can. There's still plenty of basketball left to play, and as we watch how these adjustments play out, Kev, it'll be interesting.
And thanks for that story, Doris. Part that was interesting because the games themselves weren't particularly close through the first half of the series, but things started to get really tight when they left San Antonio after Game 5.
How about that, Kevin? You talk about things tightening up. We had a game for the ages in Game 6. 28.6 seconds to go. The Spurs +5. Miami needed a miracle, and they found it in the form of timely three-point shooting and got some help from the San Antonio Spurs missing some free throws.
The Game 6 was about as intense an NBA game as you'll ever see.
Oh, it was off the chart. Absolutely fantastic.
Now here's Bosch. He has 5. James with it. Now defended by Dudley. Paul against Bosch. Paul passes to Jordan. He feeds it to Dudley. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Jordan. Dudley's got 10 points.
Well, as for them being behind in this game, you certainly can't put any of it on his shoulders. He's been tremendous offensively. Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Now here's Dudley. Paul outside, kicks to Jordan. Dudley with a screen on Bosch. Jordan with it, and Bosch picks him up defensively. He lobs up the alley-oop pass, and the slam by Blake Griffin.
Maybe that'll ignite him. I mean, impossible not to get pumped up after that. At least I think that would be the case.
Well, you can see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are. Look at them. They are pumped up.
Yeah, they're geek.
That's what those alley-oops do, though.
James kicks to Chalmers. Pass to Bosch. Paul with the steal. Outside Griffin. Right side Griffin. He kicks it to Dudley. And James pulls it down. James has got 3 rebounds now in this one. And here is Chalmers to the paint. And Wade slams it in.
Excellent communication between teammates on the alley-oop there.
And that's what you need to pull that off.
Well, both ends of that play, just fantastic.
Clippers trail by 16. Paul outside. Griffin sets the screen for Paul. The dish to Dudley. Off target with his 3.
The rebounding numbers don't actually tell the whole story. I mean, they're barely ahead in that category, but when they've needed them, they've gotten them. They've really battled hard.
It's their work on the glass, Steve, that's prevented any kind of momentum swing.
Haslam dishes to LeBron. Off target with the open look.
Easy look there, but, you know, he misses those once in a while. Well, you allow them to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, I think you got to foul them, and free throws are better than a layup.
And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for Miami.
Guys, their play close to the hoop has been great all game.
The other thing that jumps out to me is just the big number of assists they've had. The offensive efficiency has been a major factor.
The first one falls.
Well, I tell you what, the Clippers playing in the Western Conference knew they'd have to take care of business facing Eastern Conference opponents, and they did. 21-9 against the East, and a bunch of highlight real plays along the way.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Mullins is checked in. So he gets them both. And for the Clippers against the East, they had a winning record against every division out there. That's exactly what any coach, Steve, would hope for at the start of the season.
And you'll remember the Clippers went on that big streak in December, and I think the early part of the season they won 17 games in a row. A lot of those games out on the road back east. So I thought that established the tone for the Clippers for last year.
Here's Paul, following the basket by Chris Bosh. Paul passes to Mullins. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Mullins got 5.
Wow, what a clever pass that time by Chris Paul.
Now here's James. 24 points for him. Feeds to Allen. T-Wade on the wing. He's covered by Redick. 6 on the shot clock. Nothing falls in the 19-footer from Dwayne Wade. Ball against Chalmers. Back to Allen. The feed to Chalmers. There's the pass to Wade. LeBron up top, covered by Mullins. Tries a 3. Another miss by Wade.
He's not exactly striping them from deep. He had 1 3-ball in the first half. Still bagels in the second.
Shot is good, and the Heat's lead is cut down now to just 12 on the basket from Dudley.
And his shots are dropping right now. This quarter has been very kind to him.
Allen, and he drops it in from the low post. Allen's got 8 points.
And assists like that have typified their effort today. Great ball movement.
Really an example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Now here's Paul. He's got 29 points. Now Dudley. Griffin attacking, and the layup is good. 12 points for him.
He has great dexterity inside. He can contort his body, shift in midair, hang time. He can protect the ball and finish through contact. Just an impressive player in the paint.
And Steve, that's not a skill that most players have. I mean, that's exactly why they try to feed it to him in the paint whenever possible.
Really tough to get that shot off with the size differential there. It's not an individual matchup he's going to win every time, especially in the post.
Very well done. I didn't think he had any business operating down there with the big fellas.
They get it back. The 6-footer's good. Griffin's got 14 points for the game.
Good job there, Kevin, getting himself a little space on the inside.
Now a timeout called by Miami.
You know, you get the kind of love Blake Griffin has gotten for dunking on everybody in the league. It doesn't go over well with your opponents. I noticed last season teams started to get a lot more physical with him because of that.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, Doc Rivers was just addressing the plan with his team. He wants them looking for passing lanes and getting the ball into the painted area. It sounds like if they could make this a battle of the bigs, he'd be very happy. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the fourth quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
And thank you, Doris.
Well, at least the defender got his money's worth on that one.
Yep, that was an easy whistle for the official.
And with hard fouls becoming a topic of discussion last season for LeBron James and certainly for Blake Griffin, Steve, what's your take? Does Griffin change his style of play? Does the league step in to protect players like him? How do you view that?
Well, the league already does protect everybody. I mean, you can't commit a hard foul these days without it being called flagrant. So, I mean, I think Griffin is fine. He just needs to continue to improve. And what he can do more than anything is develop a low post game that would translate into the playoffs.
Good on the second free throw.
An excellent game we've seen from LeBron. 25 points and 4 blocks. This game is all about him right now.
He is in full domination mode, guys.
Now here's Crawford. He has 5. He dishes it to Jamison. Back to Crawford. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. Crawford's got 7 points. The Heat leading by 11. Wade outside. A fader. Here's Anderson. Rebound by the Clippers.
Boy, he blew the easy 2 by profile. Trying to look good. That's a bad decision and poor execution.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
Now here's Wade. 17 points in the game. Lays it up and banks it in. Wade's got 8 here in the quarter.
No way you can get back into the game if you continue to give up layups.
Collison kicks to Jamison. Dudley dishes to Collison. That drops. Collison's got 6.
The soft finger roll is just one of the many finishing moves he has in his bag of shot making.
James kicks to Allen. Pass to Cole. Good ball movement here by Miami. Here's Anderson. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. 5 points in the game. There's 1:38 left here in the third quarter. Outside Collison. Dishes to Dudley. Back to Collison. 6 on the shot clock. Inside, here's Mullins. And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is, and so they will award the basket there.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
For the Clippers, Jordan, he's checked in for Byron Mullins, and it's Griffin in for Antoine Jamison. The Heat leading by 9. Wade with it. He's got 19. Here's Anderson. No good. Great D that time from Jordan. Los Angeles has gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. And Allen with the block. And they're able to recover. And he gets the bucket. And that's now 6 points for Jordan.
That's what they're hanging their hat on today, fellas. Hard-nosed, smash-mouth play down on the low block.
To me, that's the key to any game. Who can win the battle in the paint? And right now, they've got it going.
Now here's Allen. 8 points for him. 6 to shoot. And Anderson gets it to go. Anderson's got 7 points in the game.
Whether by design or accident, that was a very high-quality shot they created.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Collison, the pass to Griffin. And yes, sir, that one drops. He's got 16.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guy.
Allen dishes to LeBron. And he's going up for the alley-oop.
The lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
Well, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
Yeah, what a beautiful connection on that play.
And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams scoring well as we head to the fourth. Heat lead by 9. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. And that does it for the third quarter. Both teams clicking offensively as we approach the fourth quarter. Clippers trail by 9. On the wings, it's D. Wade and LeBron James. Haslam and Bosh up front. And it's Cole in at the point. That's the group in the game for the Heat. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Shooting for Los Angeles, Chris Paul. 2 shots.
That one is off. And he's good on the second. Miami leading by 8. Here's LeBron. Bosh. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Yeah, the defender draped all over him.
Pretty plain and simple. Got him good there.
2.
No good on the free throw.
Kevin, it's disheartening to see them keep missing opportunities to extend the lead at the line. I mean, when you have a chance to put a team away from the line, you want to take advantage of that. You don't want to give them a chance to come back on you.
J.J. Redick's checked in for the Clippers. Good on the second free throw. And here is Paul. Paul gets a screen from Jordan. Paul with the ball. Now guarded by Haslem. That's good, and the Heat lead is cut down to 7 on the bucket from Chris Paul.
Tell you what, he's had an excellent game, and they're going to have to continue to rely on him if they're going to come back.
And Cole kicks to Bosh. Chalmers with it. Chris Paul covering. Passes to James. He feeds it to Haslem. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's going to be on Blake Griffin.
Well, really the heart and soul of this Miami team in a lot of ways, Udonis Haslem. Born and raised in Miami. He's played his entire decade-long career with the Heat, and just a tough, hard-working guy and a locker room leader.
And back to Haslem. He helped lift the Florida Gators program back to prominence. Took them all the way to the NCAA championship game, playing at center of all positions.
But was really heavy back then at Florida. And he had to lose a lot of weight before he was ready to play in the NBA. Went to Europe to play first. He's been the heart and soul of the Heat organization ever since.
It's been a nice game for Haslem. He has 9 points and the 1 steal. I'll tell you what, he's made his mark on this game in so many ways, guys.
Yeah, just on the strength of his defense alone, he would have stood out, but his offense has been outstanding as well.
Haslem hits both of them. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Oh, and he's going up for the alley-oop here, and it's Jordan with the jam.
Really hard to decide, guys, which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
Clark, there's no wrong answer to that one, my friend. Sensational alley-oop all the way around.
Agreed.
All of the above.
Chalmers pass to Cole. LeBron outside. Lots of room. It goes straight through with the switch. James has got 27.
What a display of offense we've seen today, and it's only getting better.
Well, both defenses have been on their heels all day, and it's begun to take its toll.
And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And I like the way he capped that drive off, guys, with the one-hand punch.
And Cole kicks to LeBron. Pass to Bosh. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Easy call there.
No question about that one. You could hear the impact from where I am.
2.
Okay now, boss.
He misses the free throw.
He's only got half of the equation right, Kevin. He's getting to the free throw line often, but he's not making enough of them.
Good on the second free throw.
Check out the game for Bosch. 9 points, and some of his offense coming at the foul line with 5 points there.
Yeah, 5 pretty big points, Clark.
Paul goes in. Left block shot on the way, and he gets the jumper to drop. Paul's got 34 points.
It's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint. I guess the good news is they're taking away the outside shot.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how good their perimeter defense is if they're going to allow inside looks as easy as that.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've seen him make over and over again.
Kicks it to Griffin. Back to Paul. Another one falls for the Clippers.
You know, they really aren't putting up any resistance on the low block. That's the 5th consecutive basket inside.
And, Steve, these looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Chalmers dishes to Cole. He kicks to Bosch. Feeds to Haslam. Inside. Let's go. And James with the basket on the assist by Haslam. And it's 29 points for LeBron.
Well, this is what he does. He's shooting it well. He's scoring a lot of their points, getting them in front.
Paul against Chalmers. Redick passes to Jordan. And a little luck that time, but it drops. Jordan's got 10 points here in the second half. Miami leading by 6. There's the dish to Chalmers. The pass to Bosch. And Haslam kicks to LeBron with the shot. The second chance effort, and Bosch with the layup.
Boy, where was the box out? Too easy on that second chance opportunity.
Yeah, no box out is what happened there. Those kind of mistakes on the glass will kill a team.
Chalmers against Paul. Here's Griffin. Good, and Paul gets the assist. 18 points for Blake Griffin.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
Yep, that's something that the defense has to put a stop to. Maybe a defensive adjustment is necessary here.
Bosch kicks to Haslam. Good ball movement here by Miami. And there's the feed to Chalmers. Shot clock at 6. It's good from long range.
Well, he's got that quick trigger, a very quick trigger on his shot, and it doesn't hesitate to pull up as soon as he gets his hands on the ball. He's a very aggressive player.
Well, defensive pressure is always going to be at its weakest in that instant when the pass gets there. So having a good feel for the catch and shoot serves him well.
He's been a bright spot for them. He's had an incredibly efficient offensive performance.
Steve, his shooting really has been just terrific. They'd be much worse off if it weren't for him, that's for sure.
It's Bosch with the drive. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
That is a pretty finish. Defense did all they could there, but he just outwilled them.
Wade, he's checked in for the Clippers.
Chris Bosch at the line for 1.
Free throw, no good for Bosch. Clippers trail by 9. Dudley with it. Wade picks him up. Dudley against Wade. Dudley dishes to Paul. And it's Miami with the rebound. James has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And then Wade slams it in.
I'd say that shot was well within his range.
You think so? I mean, I was pretty good from 2 feet and in myself. That's a gimme there.
The Clippers have gone on a tear here in the 4th. They're 8 of 9 on field goal attempts in the quarter. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
The offense looking much more crisp here. They're taking better care of the basketball.
And the Clippers making a change here. Hollins is checked in. Miami leading by 11. Wade outside. And the jam by Udonis Haslam.
Wonderfully instinctive play right there. Sense just where that rebound was going, and it becomes an easy 2 for him.
Well, Clark, maybe they've had too many easy buckets tonight.
Well, it's something that needs to change. I mean, they should not be getting all these easy dunks off offensive putbacks.
There's the lob to the hoop, and Griffin slams it in.
Maybe that'll ignite him. I mean, impossible not to get pumped up after that. At least I think that would be the case.
Well, you could see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are. Look at them. They are pumped up.
Yeah, they're geeked.
That's what those alley-oops do, though.
James with it. Now guarded by Hollins. Wade passes to Bosch. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. Wade's got 4 assists in the game. Clippers trail by 13. Griffin a screen on Chalmers. Griffin sets the screen for Paul. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Paul's got 9 points in the quarter. Heat shooting a tremendous 61% from the floor, hitting at all cylinders. And Chalmers kicks to Wade. Back to Chalmers. Jacks up a 3, and that one's good. And the Heat lead by 14.
Well, this is what happens when he gets on a roll. You are not going to see a better rhythm shooter than him.
Griffin a screen on Chalmers. Paul kicks to Dudley. Fires for 3. That's good. Dudley's got 12 points here in the second half.
That's his second three-pointer of the half and his third overall.
And it's Wade penetrating. Stolen by Dudley. Now the Clippers moving it up. Paul with the ball. Good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits.
He had his head on the swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
And the Heat call time here.
Well, it was kind of an up and down last few months for J.J. Redick. Traded away by his team of almost 7 years in Orlando, ended up making a pit stop in Milwaukee before bouncing back to the open market. And there was certainly demand for his services. Every team in the league can use a laser shooter.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address his team. He was propping his guys up for their defensive pressure, saying, listen, the pressure you put on them has been fantastic. Keep pestering them, keep forcing turnovers, and we'll be in a great position to win this thing.
And here's LeBron outside, and that one's good. LeBron's got 7 points for the quarter. And another solid year for Redick last season with 2 different teams.
Great shooter coming out of Duke. And you really have to respect how hard he's worked to round out his game. He's become more than just a spot-up shooter. He's a team defender. He can move without the ball, but he can hit the ball on the floor and get to the rim and finish. I think he's become an excellent guard in this league.
James dishes to Chalmers. Paul against Wade. Lock at 6. Pass to Bosch. Using his post moves to get the 2 points. And the Heat lead by 14.
He's come out here in the second half and done a nice job moving, getting good looks, and finding his range.
Redick with the bucket.
Boy, he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the defense.
Chalmers pass to Bosch. James with it. Now guarded by Dudley. James kicks to Wade. He dishes it to Haslam. The shot's good on the assist by Wade.
You know, they've been able to depend on his offense all game long, guys. He's drained a lot of shots out here.
And between now and the horn, Steve, the ball should be in his hands as much as possible if they want to continue to build this lead.
Outside Griffin. Redick with it. Wade picks him up. Dudley dishes to Barnes, and it's blocked by Haslam. James kicks to Wade, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
How about that now? What a sensational finish.
Oh, got to be able to get some hang time to do that.
Yeah, you got to rise and levitate.
Suspend yourself.
Yeah, levitate.
And glide. And glide. You got to glide in and reverse it home. So sweet.
Paul is doubled. Dishes it to Dudley. Back to Paul. They double him with LeBron. Top of the key. Dudley, no luck. The Heat leading by 15. Now, here's Chalmers. He feeds it to LeBron for 3. And again, Miami with the triple.
I love the flow that they've been playing with offensively tonight. This is an impressive performance.
Well, and that lead they have just continues to grow and grow.
And the Clippers call time here.
Well, he's got to be disappointed with his team's play over the course of this run. And, thus the timeout. You got to talk things over, try to get back into the game.
Something has to change for them as they haven't looked good at all during this run, so a timeout is appropriate here.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Byron Mullins comes in for Matt Barnes. And it's Crawford in for J.J. Redick. Poke loose. Griffin ejected by Haslem. Chalmers passes to LeBron. Kicks it to Haslem. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
He has really put his foot on the pedal this quarter, doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
Udonis Haslem. One shot.
The free throw off from Haslem. Clippers trail by 20. Crawford dishes to Paul. Hands it from downtown. Paul's got 41.
The points just keep coming for him this quarter, and just at the right time, too, as they try to narrow the deficit.
And it's Miami's ball. They're on a 14-6 run.
And, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation. Well, you look at LeBron James, maybe more than any other player in NBA history, he's great in a way that transcends position. Size, skill, savvy, know-how. I mean, he's got it all.
The first free throw is good. And we can talk about LeBron's ability to really play any position on the floor. When you look back, has Steve there ever been a player you could say that about?
I'm not sure if you could say that about both ends of the floor. I mean, there's a lot of great defensive players who could guard everybody. Scottie Pippen or Dennis Rodman. Offensively, Magic Johnson could play any position he wanted, but to be able to do so at both ends is what separates LeBron James.
And Griffin slams it in.
Well, what we saw here tonight is one team just had everything going for it and the other didn't. Huge margin of victory for Miami.
At every opportunity, they managed to push the ball and keep the up-tempo game going.
And that produced great fruit for them in transition.
It always takes someone stepping up, and that happened here as we got great numbers for LeBron James. He came out and let everybody know that points would be hard to come by with the way he swatted away shots and protected the rim.
Bosh kicks to LeBron. Just 5 on the clock. That's good. James has got 39.
Well, that puts the nail in the coffin.
A clinic in terms of how to play with the lead right there.
Dudley the pass to Paul. Feeds to Mullins. Good, and Paul gets the assist.
Well, their offense has kicked into gear, but seems to have arrived a little bit too late.
And as a coach, that can really be frustrating. I mean, your guys were stumbling along for most of the game, and now, when it's basically over, they finally decide to come alive.
Haslem dishes to Wade. James outside. Passes to Bosh. Back to James. Baseline J on the way, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Last year, LeBron said that he was at his peak as a player, both physically and spiritually. You could see it in his eyes, just so confident. Even when things aren't going well, he now has the fortitude to make his way through that and continue to play and finish the game.
Free throw good, James. Well, when you think about the level that LeBron is playing at right now, Clark, do you think he still has room to improve his game?
I think it's just a matter of his experience and picking and choosing his spots. I think his skill set is fantastic, and it's just a matter of staying the course. I don't see much improvement there. He's a terrific shooter from the 3 and inside the line. He drives it, makes his free throws, passes the ball, rebounds, defends. He wants to be in that 50, 40, 90 club on his shooting percentages, and I think he'll make it happen.
I know he's still working with Ray Allen on the free throw shooting, too.
Yeah.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Anderson with the block, and he gets it back. Mullins, no good. Here's Cole. He's covered by Collison. Here's Cole. And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
And now down to Doris Burke, who is courtside, standing by with our Jordan Player of the Game. Doris?
LeBron, for so many years, the Doc Rivers coach team has stood between you and what you have always tried to achieve. Now, of course, Doc with a new team, and you shared a moment with him after the game. Do you mind sharing what he said?
You know, the way he keeps his guys prepared and mentally in tune throughout the whole game, throughout the whole season, you know, that's a great quality in the coach, and I wanted to share that with him. So wish him the best. Thank you so much. Back to you guys at the table.
Doris, thank you. And for Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, and the rest of our great 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us as Jordan presents our Player of the Game, LeBron James.